Hello, welcome to the Battle Line Podcast. This is the place where we have conversations on the collision between community, faith, and culture. I am one of your hosts, Matt Satterlee, and here with me is my wife, Jamie Satterlee, not only my co-host in this podcast, but my co-host in life. Say hello, Jamie.
Hi.
And also with us is our producer, Elizabeth, who really makes this whole thing run. How are you today, Elizabeth?
I am totally stoked to be here.
Yeah, it's exciting. I had a lot of fun the last time, so I'm excited to keep this moving. Today's episode, we're going to dive into some Christmas movies. Christmas movies, I don't know about you guys, are like one of my very, very favorite things about the holiday season. I just love me some Christmas movies. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about how you can rescue Christmas for the hurting in your communities.
That's right. But before we get into that, we do, like Captain Jamie said, we want to talk Christmas movies. Let's have Christmas movies. It's that time of year. We're coming up on Thanksgiving already on TV. I've already seen a bunch of Christmas movies already playing. So let's get right into it. We're going to go around the horn here first. And the first two questions are going to be, what is, in your opinion, if you look this up on Google, I mean, everybody has an opinion. I found 55,000 websites this last week about the best Christmas movie ever, or what is the worst. Like Die Hard. I know that's a touchy subject for people.
Not a Christmas movie.
But there are people out there that say Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I'm going to say it is, because when your whole setting of the movie takes place at an office Christmas party, and then when you tape a gun to your back with Christmas wrapping tape, you get a pass. You get to be in that niche, that niche, if you will, that is Christmas movies. All right. Well, let's go around the horn. What is your favorite Christmas movie? What, in your opinion, Captain Jamie and Elizabeth, is the best Christmas movie of all time? Captain Jamie, I know this is touchy for you. You want to go first?
Yes. So as you can probably imagine, I have strong opinions on the best and the worst Christmas movies. So my favorites are Muppet Christmas Carol. It's kind of tied. Muppet Christmas Carol. I love Muppet Christmas Carol. We watch it every year while we decorate our tree. And then it's also kind of tied with It's a Wonderful Life, which has a lot of sentimental value. I grew up watching that movie. There are some people out there who hate It's a Wonderful Life, and I don't understand those people. It's a fantastic movie. I cry. I've probably seen that movie, more than 100 times. I cry every single time I watch it.
I don't disagree, but I'm going to push back on you a little bit, Captain Jamie, with It's a Wonderful Life.
Of course you are.
Again, I get it. And I know I know there are listeners out there who this is the hill you want to die on. And I completely understand that. And it's fine. But I'm just going to say it like this. Here it is. Here's my spicy opinion about It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life can take place at any holiday in the calendar year and still have the same thing. Like you could say George Bailey goes off a bridge at Cinco de Mayo. And when he wakes up, he's like, it's Mexican Independence Day, Bedford Falls. My life is worth meeting, or anything like that. It could be like, it's, whatever day. And still, so I get it. Yes, it's nice and sweet that it takes place at Christmas. But if a movie can take place at any other holiday and still make sense, there you go.
Well, you're not correct. You are wrong. It is a Christmas movie. Matt, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. If it were Cinco de Mayo.
Every time a bell rings, we eat a taco on Cinco de Mayo. All right? Same old. Come on.
Who's ringing bells at Cinco de Mayo? Nobody. Come on. It's a Christmas movie.
For mine, I'm going to agree. Muppet Christmas Carol is my favorite. I know that there are a million variations of Christmas Carol. I mean, gosh, you've got the Jim Carrey version, you've got the George C. Scott version, you've got Scrooged with Bill Murray. I mean, that movie's been made 100 times over. But I think that the story is great. And if we're talking about faith, I think that you see that story in the Christmas Carol. A life, what is it, the Captain Jamie, the line that they say in Muppet Christmas Carol, a life can be made right. A life can be redeemed. Oh my gosh, that's what the Salvation Army believes in, that and what the church and what we have our faith in Jesus is that a life can be made right. A life can be redeemed. So Muppet Christmas Carol, I'll get that one for 2. How about you, Elizabeth? Favorite Christmas movie, best Christmas movie?
Hands down, Home Alone.
Okay, great.
yeah.
Great pick.
All-time fave.
It's a great pick. It's on my list too. It's on my list.
Did I hear that this week was the anniversary, like the 30th anniversary of Home Alone?
It came out this week 30 years ago. 30
Iconic.
years ago.
I know. I feel so old.
I remember, now in coronavirus, this sounds hilarious, but I remember seeing Home Alone in theaters, and the theater was sold out. It was the only time I've been in a movie theater where every seat was full. I think that they were putting people in, like you got a ticket and you had to sit on the stairs because it was the last time I think I've been in a movie theater. It was filled to the brim. So great pick.
No one can scream like Daniel Stern. He just has the best EL. What do you love about it, Elizabeth?
I personally love the paint can throwing scene.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not for violence, and like scary movies are not my jam, but like no one's really getting hurt in this. It's so fun. And like the icing of the stairs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the nail through the foot. How many of us can watch the nail go through the foot and not cringe? Yeah.
I know. No, it's a perfect film.
There are so many parts as an adult now when you watch that movie. There's so many times where you go, you should have died. Like a real person would have died right there.
I think I saw an article once where a doctor kind of like outlined this is what would have happened. Like if this was reality, here are all the things they would have broken. Like, would they have survived? I was like, okay, we might be taking this a little too seriously. But yeah, it's a great. Do you like Home Alone 2, Elizabeth?
I do like Home Alone too. I wouldn't say it's as good, but I would say it's still like a slam dunk bit of cinema.
Yeah, it's good. Classic.
And then, of course, the brick throwing in that is the other
save
moment. Yeah.
Not that we're like, it's like the same movie trope. They're like, what could we do this time? Last time we used paint cans. I got an idea. Let's use bricks. That's totally different. Okay. Oh, and just to go back to that, Captain Jamie, so you're saying that a person could not survive walking in a kitchen door and having their head set aflame by a giant fire and still walk around? All right. Well, all right. Again, those are best Christmas movies in our opinion. It's not worth much, but as our opinion. Now let's move to the worst. There are a lot of Christmas movies out there and you got a lot to choose from. But in our opinion, now again, people out there listening, some of you are about to get, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that. That's like that was my memories. Like, it's okay. These are just our opinions. It's okay, guys. So let's go around the horn. What, in your opinion, is probably one of the most terrible or boring or worst Christmas movies of all time? Elizabeth, you wanna start us off on this one?
I'm going to start off with a really spicy take here.
Okay, let's hear it.
I cannot stand Elf.
Hey, all right.
Hey.
That's fine.
Yeah?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that pick.
I can't get over the gum scene. I can't get past it. So I'm out.
I would say, yes, I would think a lot of people, especially younger people, are going to disagree. But I think that, yes, you're right. I think for story, it's not the best, but that movie does have a bunch of one-liners that we still quote today. You sit on a throne of lies. You smell like beef and cheese. I mean, we use these lines. I mean, those have become part of our everyday lexicon, if you will. That's
I think I liked Will Ferrell. I really liked Saturday Night Live Will Ferrell, but his movies are all just too much. There's just too much. Yeah, it's not my favorite either.
All right. Yeah, Captain Jamie. I know, again, everybody buckle up, guys. Here comes Captain Jamie. Here we go.
Yeah, so I thought that I was the only person in America who felt this way, but I recently learned that.
I know what you're going to say, and you are.
Listen, A Christmas Story is the worst, maybe not even the worst Christmas movie of all time. I think it might be the worst movie of all time. It has zero redeeming qualities about it.
You stop right there.
Not one iota of goodness,
Jamie,
can be found in that movie. Yes, Matthew.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. That movie is about the American middle class working family.
Matt, I don't even think those parents like their children.
I'm sorry, Captain Jamie.
Horrible.
I'm sorry, Jamie, that you were born into a family that didn't have time to worry about the middle class. at Christmas
Okay.
time.
I hope my parents are listening to this right now.
Oh my gosh. I understand
listen,
what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I thought I was the only person that felt this way. Especially like, oh my gosh, the horrible tragedy it is that TBS shows this movie for 24 hours when there are an infinite number of Christmas movies that you could show. It's tragic. But I recently did a very scientific poll on Facebook and learned that of the 82 people who responded, 22% of them agreed with me that A Christmas Story is the worst Christmas movie of all time.
Well, you know what? 63% of stats are made up. So
listen, I did the math. You could check it.
Isn't it also like 22% of Americans think that there are lizard aliens inside human bodies? Those are the same people that don't like A Christmas Story.
Listen, I need to write a letter to TBS and just tell them that they need to pick a new movie for their tradition because it is terrible.
I mean, again, though, that movie has iconic, what's the word? MacGuffins. Isn't that what it is when like there's a movie that's centered around like a prop? The leg lamp. When you see a leg lamp anywhere,
that's
you just
the Christmas decoration everybody needs in their house is a fishnet stocking lady's leg, which should we talk again about objectification with a lampshade on it.
It's a
Listen,
lamp.
You're gonna get me started.
All right. Okay, here. I have two for the worst movie of all. Not worst. Okay. I'll go through this real quick because I know, listen, send your emails to tim.foley@usn.salvationarmy because Charlie Brown Christmas. I'm Charlie Brown Christmas. Listen, I get it. It's
the audacity. How dare you?
It's fine. I'm just saying, like, listen to this. Christmas time is here. We're all really sad. The leaves are gone. It's really cold. There's no happiness here. Oh my gosh. Thanks, guys.
Gosh.
But then everybody's going to say, oh, what about Linus? He reads scripture.
Matt, he reads the Christmas Story. He talks about Jesus. Well, you're going to go ahead and tell us about how this is wrong, how it's not redemptive, Matt, for this cute little boy in his little blanket to talk about Jesus.
All right. I get it. All right. You're going to hit me with the Christianese. I'm fine. All right. The second one, lesser known one. You guys, listen, like I said, listen to Uncle Matt from Fraggle Rock. You're going to have to Google this one, Babes in Toyland. All right. Babes in Toyland. It was made in, I believe, 1984, 1986. It stars, believe this or not, Elizabeth, you're the youngest one here. Let me ask you this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Have you ever seen Babes in Toyland? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I have no idea what it is.
Okay. You can Google it. It's amazing. The star is a young Drew Barrymore. And the leading male,
like E.T. That would have been like E.T. era.
She's like 5 years past E.T. in this one.
Okay.
And then the leading man is none other than the Matrix himself, Keanu Reeves.
Oh wow!
And it's just, you have to see it. It's amazing. Keanu Reeves sings in the movie about, what city in America is like have the best. If you could sing about one song, New York, no. In this movie, we sing about Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Cincinnati, the best town in Ohio, Ohio, USA. Yeah, look it up, boys and girls. You will be amazed. Babes in Toyland. It went right to TV, 94 minutes long. Watch it. YouTube probably has it. Somebody probably pirated it, and it's on there. But
so are you saying it's a horrible 94 minutes, or like it's worth a watch just for how terrible it is?
There's if you say Christmas, leg lamps don't have to do anything with Christmas, Captain Jamie. In this movie, there's a vulture-like creature that can see the future called a troll log. So check it out.
You're selling me on this one.
That's right. Nothing says Christmas like vulture.
It's worth it to see Drew Barrymore and Keanu Reeves sing a duet in a group. And the guy that plays Georgie Porgy, Oscars.
Georgie Porgy?
Yeah, you have to see it. Listen, if I explain it too much, I'm going to ruin it for all the boys and girls out there. But check it out. All right. Okay, well, let's go into last time, we talked a lot about Hallmark Christmas movies. And I do want to say thank you to the Hallmark. Hallmark has been very kind to the Salvation Army over the years, very kind. And we just want to say thank you to them. And Hallmark Christmas movies, I'm going to be straight with you. I've never seen one. So it's hard for me to make fun. It's not hard. I mean, I'm going to make fun of them, but it's still...
That flees the room whenever they come on.
Elizabeth, do you ever... I know Captain Jamie remembers this, but do you ever remember going to the mall as a child and going into a Hallmark Gold Crown store?
Oh my, absolutely. I know a Hallmark store.
Really? I was going to say, you were going to say, absolutely not. I didn't even know these things existed, like a Blockbuster.
Actually, hold the phone. I think it's the paper store now. I think they've rebranded.
Yes. So I looked it up. I think that there's only like 2,000 left in the United States, but I remember when they used to be in every mall. And like the Hallmark Gold Crown store was like a mixture of hospital, what do you call those things? Like gift shop, hospital gift shop, married a like a Christian bookstore without the books, right? Like just the gifts, married a Hobby Lobby. That was it. That was the Hallmark Gold Crown store. I remember going into those bad boys, man. Mom was going to the store. I was like, I'm going to the Hallmark Gold Crown store just to buy greeting cards. Absolutely not. But now that their stores have closed, they've gone into the movie biz, and Christmas is where they own the day. So for this little part, I'm going to give you both a little quiz here about the Hallmark Christmas movies. I'm going to have 6 questions for you here. What I do is I'm going to give you 2 movie titles. You have to tell me which one is the Hallmark Christmas movie. Make sense?
Oh, gosh.
I'm ready.
Sure.
I will tell you this. Every movie that I mention is a real movie. I didn't make any of them up. These are all real Christmas movies. Okay, here we go.
So it's an actual movie. We're just trying to guess which one is not made by Hallmark.
Find the imposter. That's what you're trying to do. Find the imposter. Okay, this one is easy. First question, very easy. Which one of these is a Hallmark Christmas movie?
But I hate Hallmark movies, so it's not going to be easy.
No, this one is pretty self-apparent. Here you go. First one. Silent Night, Deadly Night. You're laughing already. Silent Night, Deadly Night, and A Boyfriend for Christmas. Which one is the real Hallmark Christmas movie? Silent Night, Deadly Night, A Boyfriend for Christmas.
Well, listen, if we know anything about Hallmark movies, it's that, they always find a boyfriend. So I'm going to go with that one.
Elizabeth?
I totally agree. And that sounds like so much fun.
Okay. A Boyfriend for Christmas is the Hallmark Christmas movie. Good job. You both get a point. Bing. All right. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a horror movie where a axe murderer goes around in a Santa suit killing people. Actually, I think it was cut and not allowed to be shown because of its violence. So
good.
All right.
Sounds
next
terrible.
Getting a little tougher. Second question. Which of these is a Hallmark Christmas movie? Holiday in Handcuffs or Matchmaker Santa? Holiday in Handcuffs or Matchmaker Santa? Captain Jamie, you're first on this one.
Oh, see, now I feel like this could be tricky because I want to say there's no way that Hallmark is making a movie about, somebody in handcuffs, but it also kind of seems like just the thing Hallmark would do to send some, lumberjack to volunteer out of jail and find himself a girlfriend.
A lumberjack Christmas prince, yes. Jamie.
Wait, okay, so it was the one about the handcuffs and what was
Holiday
the last one?
in Handcuffs or Matchmaker Santa?
Okay, Matchmaker Santa is the Hallmark movie.
Elizabeth.
Final answer.
I know that Hallmark has a mystery series, so I'm going to go with the handcuffs.
Matchmaker Santa is the Hallmark Christmas movie. Now, I kind of tricked you. I threw you off this one. This one I kind of cheated. Holiday in Handcuffs is an ABC Family Channel movie. It was the best one on ABC Family. Holiday in Handcuffs, it stars 2 stars from the 90s. One, Mrs. Clarissa Explains It All, Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
oh my gosh.
Melissa Joan Hart. And the boy toy is one, A.C. Slater, better known as Mario Lopez.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
They are together. Holidays in Handcuffs. Check it out at ABC Family
I'm
near
about to go
you.
watch it.
All right. Next one. Number 3. Which one of these is a Hallmark Christmas movie? Merry Matrimony or Single Santa Seeks Mrs. Claus? Merry Matrimony or Single Santa Seeks Mrs. Claus?
I'm going to go with
Go ahead.
Merry Matrimony.
I'm going to second that.
Merry Matrimony it is. All right. Listen, I'm not saying there's a theme, but here's the last three movies. Boyfriend for Christmas, Matchmaker Santa, Merry Matrimony. All right, here we go. Number 4. Christmas in Connecticut or Annie Claus is Coming to Town.
I have heard of Christmas in Connecticut. So now I'm trying to figure out, have I heard about it because it's a Hallmark movie, or have I heard about it because it's played elsewhere?
Connecticut gives me Lifetime vibes. I'm not going to lie. I think this might be the sister channel.
What's it going to be? I lost track of points. So go ahead. Christmas in Connecticut for Cam, Jamie, Elizabeth.
I'll go with the other one.
Annie Claus is Coming to Town is the Hallmark Christmas movie. Good job.
Nice.
All right.
Elizabeth.
Number 5, Naughty or Nice.
Oh,
I know.
she is.
Whoa,
Seems
guys.
inappropriate for this podcast.
Naughty or Nice. It's a song lyric, Captain Jamie. Get it together. Or To Grandmother's House We Go. Naughty or Nice or To Grandmother's House We Go.
I feel like Hallmark Channel always tries to keep it wholesome. So I think they would steer away from Naughty or Nice. So I'm going to say To Grandmother's House We Go.
I agree on that one.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. No. It's Naughty or Nice.
Hallmark stepping out.
I know.
Oh
Whoa, Hallmark. To Grandmother's House We Go. To Grandmother's House We Go is actually a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie.
Oh my God. I'm embarrassed now.
All the millennials right now are screaming at their radios, screaming at their phones.
You're just a passport to Paris. Oh my gosh.
All right.
The holiday in the sun.
One. Again, this one should be pretty simple, but I just want to throw it out there. Last one. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Or Christmas Under Wraps.
Oh.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
We'll make a Christmas movie out of anything.
Christmas Under Wraps. Go ahead. Take your pick.
Christmas Under Wraps.
It seems too easy. But I'll go with it.
Yes, Christmas Under Wraps is the correct one. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians was a movie made in the 60s. It is a real thing. But I picked Christmas Under Wraps because that is the #1 Hallmark Christmas movie ever watched at one time. It stars the OG Christmas Hallmark movie queen, who also is a spokesman for the Salvation Army, Candace Cameron Bure. Cam Jamie, help me out. Bure?
Sure.
Nailed it. Let's just say DJ Tanner.
Yes.
Christmas Under Wraps, when that movie debuted, it had 5.75 million people watch that movie on Hallmark Channel
crazy.
When it came out. So Candace Cameron Bure is the Hallmark Christmas movie queen. Well, go ahead, Elizabeth.
I just want to say, I just Googled this, and it does appear Lifetime has ripped them off and has the same title movie.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have Candace Cameron in, though, does it?
No, it's with other people who I don't know. Oh, this is a 2020 movie. So
okay. No, Christmas Under Wraps came out in like 2016, I think, something like that.
No, much better.
All right. Well, the Hallmark, as we were saying earlier, Hallmark really has helped the Salvation Army. They've had great partnerships, and we want to say thank you to Hallmark for that. But also, we do want to say, like, there are lots of ways that you can help out the Salvation Army in your local community this Christmas. And that's kind of the point of this podcast, as we come to the second half of the show here, is just to say, how can you help the Salvation Army help others? The Salvation Army is in the business of helping others, and especially at Christmas time, when we're seeing the most and when there's the most opportunity to serve. But I asked a few people, what would be the thing that we would want our listeners to do? If you want to get involved in helping people and giving back something this Christmas, what would it be? So the first thing is a thing that the Salvation Army is very well known for, and that is our Christmas kettles, ringing bells, as we call them, not buckets. And people love to call them buckets. Oh, you're the people with the red buckets. Yes, we are. But we call them kettles. All right. Captain Jamie, do you want to give us the history real quick on bell ringing kettles?
Yeah, sure. So this Christmas, the Salvation Army's kind of Christmas campaign is called Rescue Christmas, because we anticipate that the need has grown so much because of COVID and all of the job loss and things that has brought with it. we're kind of, our aim is to rescue Christmas for all those out there who need it. And really, that's how the first kind of kettle campaign started. There was a guy named Captain Joseph McPhee back in 1891, so long ago. He kind of was so burdened by this large number of individuals who was going hungry on the streets of San Francisco, and he really felt the call to provide a free Christmas dinner, but he didn't have a way to pay for it. So he was trying to figure out, like, how can I raise money in order to feed this great homeless population? And so Joseph McPhee was from England, and so he remembered his time there in Liverpool, and there was a thing there called the Simpsons pot, where they would put this pot out at the port, and people would just walk by, and as they walked by, they would toss in a coin or two to help the needy. And so he set up a similar pot at the Oakland Ferry Landing, and the rest is history. So today, there are more than 30,000 kettle locations across the United States that raise millions of dollars across America to help those in need. One thing I think that people maybe don't understand is that even though we raise this money at Christmas, it really goes to fund the Salvation Army's mission all year long. And so that's why it's so important, and why we put such an emphasis on it, because the money that's raised in just this few, short 6 weeks or so of time goes to help 52 weeks of the year in every local community. That money stays local. It helps those in your community who really need help. And so that's why we put so much emphasis on those red kettles.
Yeah, by ringing bells, you're not only helping the Salvation Army out at Christmas, and you're helping other people. You're helping the Salvation Army, like with our homeless shelters. You're helping to keep people in our homeless shelters, keep them safe, keep them fed, keep them warm, especially in the coldness of winter. You're helping provide food for hungry families. You're providing Christmas, right? We talked about that. But also you're helping people with the Salvation Army is able to use is be able to help people with utility assistance and rent assistance. So as Captain Jamie was saying, yeah, if you're helping us to volunteer to ring bells and raising money at the kettles, and every little penny that's put in there, you're helping the Salvation Army, not just at Christmas, but all year round. Now, especially people are scared to death, and rightly so this year because of the pandemic. How many people are going to be out and about? If this is the Salvation Army's main fundraiser throughout the year, how is that going to affect us through providing service to others throughout the year? So check out you can go to salvationarmyus.org, or you can just Google your local Salvation Army, and you can get in touch with the local Salvation Army officer or unit director there, and they can inform you about how to volunteer to ring bells. I'm telling you, folks, ringing bells is some of the best fun you'll ever had. I know people are like, oh, I got to stand out in front of Walmart for like 2 hours. Oh my gosh, it's fun. It really is fun. I say that ringing bells in front of Walmart for a couple of hours is worth a course credit in a human psychology class at your standard university, because it's funny to see the personalities of people as they walk by you. Like, some people look at the ground because they think, if I don't make eye contact with the bell ringer, they don't exist and I can get by. So people are like the people who pretend to be on their cell phones so they don't have to acknowledge you. Bluetooth, that kind of stuff. It's fun.
You also, though, get to hear stories like people will stop and tell you about interactions they've had with the Salvation Army, or even interactions that have been passed down, from their grandparents or whatever. And, they say what the Salvation Army meant to the soldiers, who received, donuts or coffee or whatever from the donut girls. All that stuff gets passed down and people share it. And so it's a good time to be out there and just to meet people. Understandably, people are maybe a little bit nervous about that this year because of COVID. And so we're going to talk about some ways that you can help without necessarily having to go out at the kettle as well.
Yeah. When you walk by a kettle and you see people, you're either seeing A, a volunteer, or B, a paid Salvation Army seasonal employee at that location, because there's just not enough volunteers. And so it's helpful to have as many volunteers as possible, especially this year, because most of our volunteers that stand out in front of kettles are usually of the older generation. And because of the way the coronavirus has been really unfair to the older generation, we are really looking forward to getting younger people in there out who can stand in front of the kettles this year. So again, if you want more information on that, it varies wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this. But check out salvationarmyus.org or just Google your local Salvation Army. Get in contact and say, hey, look, I want to ring bells. I want to work this Walmart up the road from me, or this whatever, grocery store, wherever they're allowed to ring bells, and just say, look, I want to take a shift, and grab some friends and come out and come together. It's a great time. As Captain Jamie was saying, Captain Jamie, do you want to talk a little bit about Angel Tree?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Angel Tree has only really been around since 1979. It was actually started as a partnership between the Salvation Army and a local shopping mall right down the road from us now in Lynchburg, Virginia. And it was the Salvation Army at that time in that community was run by Major Charles and Shirley White. And so they kind of got the idea, they saw the needs of these children in the community. And so they took Hallmark greeting cards, which featured the pictures of angels, and they wrote on the back of those cards.
Shout out to Hallmark.
Yes, they they wrote kind of the wishes of these kids on these cards and hung them on that tree at the mall, and shoppers could select a child and fulfill those wishes. So that first year, they helped 700 children experience a brighter Christmas. Today, across America, more than 1 million children are the beneficiaries of that same joy that they sought to share over 40 years ago. So yeah, it's a great ministry and a great way to help. Kids are so often kind of the beneficiaries of things that they have no control over. And oftentimes their parents are as well. And so the Salvation Army understands and recognizes just how heavy that burden can be on the hearts of parents when, for whatever reason, because of job loss or, sometimes it's as simple as a spouse walked away, or there are all kinds of heartbreaking situations that you hear about, but for whatever reason can't provide Christmas that year. And so the Salvation Army says, you know what, let us, extend a hand out to help you make it through this season. And just the joy that you see on the face of the parents and on the face of the kid makes it all worth it.
Yeah, and Walmart has really gone above and beyond for the Salvation Army this year. I mean, allowing us to have pretty much nearly every Walmart, or most of them, you will see a Salvation Army Angel Tree inside your local Walmart. You're going to be there anyway, so you might as well take an angel off the tree this holiday season and buy a gift and leave it there for a kid. If not, you can go to the website walmartangeltree.com. walmartangeltree.com, and you can get information. You're able to help that way is all. And this year we want to give a shout out again. Walmart had their 2020 Toy Awards that came on TV with a bunch of celebrities. I mean, we had Meghan Trainor, and I say Walmart, man, hooked us up. The Salvation Army is just the benefit of being able to serve others. That Meghan Trainor was there, DJ Khaled, and a host of others. So again, check out your local Walmart this Christmas season, or go to walmartangeltree.com and you can do that, or register for good. Just Google register for good, and you can see it that way as well. Also, what Walmart's also doing this year, which is very cool, is because of the coronavirus pandemic and they're wanting to serve others, the need is still great, even if it wasn't a pandemic, but especially because of that, a lot more families hungry, out of work. Walmart is also, when you pay for something at Walmart, you can also round up. Now you can round up your change, your extra change, and that will benefit the Salvation Army and helping other people out. And again, not just at Christmas, but gosh, folks, all throughout the year that this is going to do.
And that roundup it's in person. When you shop in person at Walmart, so you just ask the person that's doing the register. Or if you're shopping online, there's also the option there to round up. I did it twice this week. They helped me out with my Christmas shopping, so I went ahead and rounded up.
Captain Jim, before we leave Angel Tree, Captain Jim, when we were Corps officers, when we ran a local Salvation Army, Captain Jamie, you really had your hands on the Angel Tree program locally where we were. Do you remember any stories of any families that were affected, that were helped by the Salvation Army? Any just something to bring it home to us?
Yeah, so there are a ton of stories. Every year you meet families, and one of the great opportunities is that it gives us a chance to hear their story. Sometimes people just need somebody to listen to them. And so it gives the opportunity for them to share what's going on in their lives. And because so many of our volunteers are tied in with the mission of the Army, they're able to offer, kind of a hand of hope, but also sometimes a prayer, just to say like, hey, let me help pray for you in this situation. There is a story that didn't happen in our unit. It happened in another unit in Arkansas, actually. The a present came in, and as those gifts come in, you kind of organize them into the family boxes and things. And inside there was a kind of a card that was taped to the gift, and there was a picture there with it. And inside the card, it said, there was a note from the donor, and it said, our baby passed away earlier this year. And we, if our baby were alive now, it would be the same age as this child that they had shopped for. They said, we would give anything to be shopping for Christmas for our daughter right now. But because we can't do that, we want to share the joy with you. And so we hope you have a Merry Christmas. And it just kind of taught me so much. So many times I think about what the ministry this is to the recipient, but it's also a ministry to the donors. We don't know what's happening or going on in the donors' lives. This family had endured this incredible tragedy, but it was a ministry for them and to their hearts as well. And so many times I remember meeting volunteers at the Angel Tree warehouses or the Angel Tree kind of centers at Walmarts and things. And I would hear stories, or even stories from donors who would say, when I was a kid, the Salvation Army helped our family. Or, several years back, I hit a rough patch and I lost a job, or whatever the circumstances were. And the Salvation Army helped me. And now it's my turn to be able to turn around and help give back. And so I think both with Kettles and with Angel Tree, it's not just a blessing for those who are receiving the benefit of that work, but it's also such a gift to those who are, to the donors, to those who are purchasing the presents, to the workers who are helping out in the warehouses, even to those who are ringing the bell. It's a gift to them as well. And so we need more of that in the world today, right? These happy moments, this ministry, these opportunities of blessing. And so I would just encourage you, again, get in contact with your local Salvation Army. There are plenty of things to do. So, link up with them and find out how you can be a part of rescuing Christmas in your community.
For sure. And yeah, just again, the younger generation, millennials, Generation Z, those older than us kind of give us, some real flack about the way that we volunteer and the way that we help people. We're accused of being slacktivists, where we can post the hashtag on our social media and kind of just feel like, okay, that's it. We've done it. But we really can. It really is. You will feel like $1 million when you really just take that step and say, you know what, I'm going to help. I'm going to buy a gift for a kid. I'm going to take some time and go outside. Listen, when I volunteered to ring bells in Florida outside, it was amazing because it's like 75, right? Being from the South, anything below 65 is freezing to us. So, those people who volunteer to ring bells in like Minnesota, man, you the real MVP, right? For sure. But there are just too many things for us to mention that your local Salvation Army can do. That's why we want you to get in contact with them. Hey, how can I help? I mean, there's too many things for us to name here, but coat drives, shoe drives. Of course, there's always canned food drives and things like that, because some local Salvation Armies try to give out, a Christmas dinner while they're giving out Angel Tree gifts to the family. So those are things you just have to get in contact with your local Salvation Army and check out. Last thing.
I got something. Yeah. Hey, can I just jump in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So you were saying about the generational generosity, is different between the things. I would say, especially Gen Z, if you're listening to this, or millennials, we actually just ran a little piece about this in the December issue coming soon to a newsstand near you of Peer Magazine. You'll see in the panorama feature that we talk about generational generosity. Even though many millennials had to move back home with their parents or might have suffered financially due to the pandemic, according to a 2020 Zell report, Nearly 3 out of 4 millennials have donated to a nonprofit since the pandemic began in March. And second to them was Gen Z at 66%. So millennials and Gen Z were leading the way in nonprofit donations during the pandemic. And we hope to see that kind of same push in Rescue Christmas as well.
If you are really interested, if you're a young adult, young professional out there, and you are really interested in helping out the Salvation Army year round, we have something called Salvation Army Echelon, which is a young adults in the local Salvation Army fundraising group, almost like a
service club,
like almost. A service club, sort of, yeah, like that, where people get together and they just network, but they also help out the Salvation Army with their time. Those are not in every community in the United States, but if there may be one near you, so look them up, salvationarmyechelon.org, and see if there's one. I know that because they're doing the Echelon Kettle Takeover here soon, which you'll want to check out. Last thing, as always, I know we kind of said Slacktivist a second ago, but don't hesitate to post things on your social media. When you go to Walmart, and you buy an Angel Tree gift and you're posting it up on the gram or on your Snapchat, don't be afraid to use the hashtag Walmart Angel Tree or hashtag Rescue Christmas. It's just a way to help let other people see, hey, I'm doing something, and you can do something just as simple as that. If you want all this information, just to wrap up this airplane, wrap up this little Christmas gift and give it to Charlie Brown, who's sad this time of year. Again, if you want to help out, go to salvationarmyusa.org. salvationarmyusa.org.
salvationarmyusa.org.
As we like to end every episode, what's got you excited? Oh, sorry, Captain Jamie, I took your question. You ask your question officially.
Well, not only did you take it, you didn't even ask it correctly, sir. I'm going to need you to get it together.
Note for the edit, Elizabeth. Right. Please erase everything I've just said.
You got it, man.
What is bringing you joy? All right, that's the question. To wrap up each podcast episode, we're going to ask this question of each other. What is bringing you joy? So much kind of sadness and frustration and despair. The world is full of it, and it's easy to get bogged down in it. So we want to focus on gratitude and Thanksgiving and what is bringing you joy. Matt, actually, we're going to let Elizabeth go first this time.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, fruit snacks.
I'm going to step up only a little bit here. I'm going to go with twinkly lights.
Yes.
I love them. I saw them on somebody's porch when I was on a walk the other day, and I just smiled. I love them.
Wait,
and
you
Christmas.
You saw Christmas lights up before Thanksgiving?
I think they were just lining the porch.
Matt, it's 2020. Let people live their lives.
They got those LED strip lights, right?
Exactly.
Elizabeth,
I just love them.
On a tree.
Yes.
White lights, color lights.
This has just been such a topic of conversation growing in my household. I really go back and forth because my mom is team white lights, and I think they look so classy, but the color ones are so much fun.
Yes, I think they go with personality types.
Yeah.
White standard lights are for... people who like It's a Wonderful Life as their favorite Christmas movie.
Watch the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, yes. And then multicolored lights are for people who love diversity.
It's like a BuzzFeed quiz. What's your light type?
You know what Charlie Brown's is? Blue. His light would be blue.
Okay.
That's a great one, Elizabeth. I'm going to go. Mine is not as good. I have really been into the app game Among Us.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Elizabeth, do you play Among Us?
I do.
Listen, I am not going to toot my own horn, but toot. I think that I might be undefeated when I'm the imposter. I am.
I think so.
I think that gives up to some, as a Christian, maybe I shouldn't be very good at being a liar, but, oh, Captain Jamie, I heard that note. We're married, by the way, everybody. So, but yeah, so that's mine, Among Us. If you haven't heard of it, it's amazing. It's easy. It's free. Yeah. Captain Jamie's, hold on a second. Last line. Captain Jamie's acting kind of sus right now.
Oh my gosh, yes. Gonna eliminate you right now.
All right. Go ahead, Captain Jamie.
Listen, I have so many things to say. I was gonna you can play that game you can either jump in and play with people who are already playing, or you can set up with a code and play with like your friends, right?
Yes.
Nice. We're doing another Peer promo here, an upcoming edition of Peer Magazine. In January, we actually feature a review about Among Us. I learned so much just from reading this review that I did not know before. But now my kids are really into it, so I think I'm going to have to check it out. Susanna
When we
tried
say
to...
Among Us, it always sounds like fungus, so I feel a little bit like weird. But
Susanna tried to explain this to me the other day, but I had questions, and then she was like, "Oh, forget it."
kind of sus. That's what Susanna said. Mom's kind of sus.
So, okay. What's bringing me joy right now is Christmas music. I love Christmas music. I try to make myself wait until October before I start listening to it. October 1st has become Drive My Daughter Lillian Crazy with Christmas Music Day. I love it. That's how I wake her up on October 1st every year, is by blaring some kind of Christmas music in her room, and it makes her crazy. But there's so much great, there even traditional hymns or, whatever albums that have already been released and stuff is great, but there are some really good ones coming out. Matt, did you know that in 2020, there was an album that just came out called A Holly Dolly Christmas featuring the lovely Dolly Parton?
Listen, I know where you're going. You're going to say, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And listen, it gets me, Generation Z. I'm coming for you on this one. How is that your favorite Christmas song? Come on. Mariah Carey has been riding that pony for years now.
Yeah, listen though, this is Dolly Parton and Jimmy Fallon duet on All I Want for Christmas
I haven't
Is
heard
You.
this
This
one.
is the gift we didn't know we needed in 2020. And then also just dropped a holiday album. Leslie Odom Jr. of Hamilton just dropped another Christmas album last week. It is called the Christmas album. Very creative, but it is wonderful. So I am just enjoying all of the great Christmas music that is coming out.
Christmas time is here. We're all really sad.
Okay.
Seasonal. What is it called? Seasonal.
You don't even know what it's called.
Depression song. Oh, geez. Okay.
That's why you need to go listen to A Holly Dolly Christmas. Come on.
All right. Well, that's going to end this episode of the Battle Line podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the Battle Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to follow peermag.org on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out the War Cry as well. Captain Jamie, anything else you want to say about Peer today?
No, I would just say if you want to check out the feature articles and all that stuff, do go to peermag.org. But on social media, you can find us at peer.magazine.
All right.
On all the major social media networks.
Until next time, this has been the Battle Line Podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the Battle Line podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Salvation Army National Headquarters.